Alright guys, so this is a much needed video and I wanted to do this video for a while. For the past couple of weeks, it has been dwelling on my mind. And you know, as an avid viewer of Real Housewives of Potomac since season 1, I wanted to speak about this. And I feel like we need to. I feel like there's an absolute epidemic of colorism drenched all over Real Housewives of Potomac. And let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Morali. Hope you guys are doing well today. Back at it again with another video. If you have not subscribed, guys, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, my Patreon, my merch, and let's get straight into this video. Head over to my TikTok. Subscribe, guys. Click that button. Now, before we do that, can you hear the police? They're on the way to arrest you, Giselle. Miss Giselle. Woo! This is a fit. One day Giselle can relate. Anyway, let's get into this video where I do want to speak about this, where I feel like, let's just get straight into it. Where the dark-skinned individuals like Candice and Wendy are put to a much higher standard than, you know, their lighter-skinned counterparts, such as Ashley, such as Giselle, such as Robin, you know, or even Karen, you know, the list goes on. Katie, for example, Charisse, you know, it goes on and on and on and on. There are so many examples where, you know, you have Candice who, she has a very quick mouth. She isn't the only one, so does Ashley. But there are times where, you know, Candice, although I'm not going to justify her stuff, she is frustrating in that, not Candice, sorry, the way that people make it seem as if, you know, she's the only one that says bad things. She isn't the only one that has made comments about body issues. Ashley has done so many times as well. The wide body comment wasn't the right thing to say.
Because you
But when Ashley talked about Alzheimer's, where was any reaction for that? Where was any offensive communities, you know, talking about that? And, you know, all of that stuff in nature, I feel like is always put to a side. Season 5, we obviously have Wendy being described as ferocious and constantly seen as aggressive, even in this season, by the likes of Ashley, by the likes of Giselle. These words, and Colourism was touched on it last year, are very tactical in how they play, because there have been many a times where Ashley has been ferocious, but of course, these type of adjectives are not used or described in that way. It may be subconscious or maybe conscious, but I do feel like there is a lot of colorism drenched on the show. A lot of the show was actually meant to be about Charisse as well, but of course the lighter skinned, green-eyed individuals are going to get that main camera time. Giselle has not had a storyline in a very long time, apart from Jamal cheating on her for the millionth time. So what else is going on in this woman's life? Nobody knows, really and truly. But I do feel like her phenotype aids her in many ways. And I feel like there's a lot of information about this, even on an Instagram account called The Darkest Hue, when I feel like I'm going to put them in the bio because they've made a lot of good points. But on top of her generational wealth, Giselle Bryant's green-eyed and light-skinned gained her access to prestigious men, opportunities, and sororities in her youth. She was an AKA at Hampton University in the 90s, whilst colorism was ripe on campus. Very interesting point. Very interesting points that are obviously being made. It's just very interesting point. Giselle Bryant has long suggested that Candice is jealous of Ashley. She's on record saying, I think Candice wants to be Ashley. There's some deep-rooted something there. You know, and I feel like when you put these two comparisons, it's very interesting. Then you have the whole Monique situation. Giselle was talking about the stereotype and how we've held it above, which I think it's not a black woman issue. They're just two girls that are fighting. New Jersey girls are flipping up tables, but when it comes to Potomac, we need to be doing up lectures and, you know, stereotype nonsense. Do you understand?
We have been able to hold ourselves above the stereotype. And in 5 minutes, she took it away.
I do feel like, especially when it comes to Monique, Giselle was really upset with her reaction and the stereotype stuff, but sat there on the trailer of the reunion for this season and said, if Mia clocked you, then it is what it is.
Horrified. If, by chance, Mia clocked you, I'd have been like, that's low and foul.
What is the difference between Mia and what is the difference between Monique? Evidently skin type. You know, and I feel like this type of colorism is so scary because it's so subconscious and it just drifts, it literally drifts past your mindset. It drifts past you and you digest it and accept it and you don't even know what you're accepting. It's like carbon monoxide seeping into your brain and it's obviously very, very scary. Whenever Giselle and Robin have an issue with Wendy, their go-to response is to allude to call her insecure, angry, aggressive, combative, and jealous. Giselle and Robin have displayed all of the behaviors they accuse Wendy of. Giselle and Robin claim that they call Wendy insecure because of her numerous cosmetic surgeries and the infidelity rumors surrounding her marriage. However, they do not accuse Mia, who has had more cosmetic surgery than Wendy, of being insecure. Do you guys see the comparisons? They're always held to a higher standard, as if Candice just has the worst mouth in the history of the world, when other girls in the seasons. Even Karen has a quick mouth and said a lot of stuff as well. So I feel like they're never held to the standard. And Candice, especially by Andy Cohen, Andy does a lot of this as well. He's not as if he's innocent. Puts a harsh analysis on her as if she is the only one that has this rude mouth and nobody else does. I'm like,
how is the way that you respond to people working for you?
If you cannot handle someone orating,
justifying the stuff that Candice says because it can be rude, and but she is quick-witted and has a quick mouth. But the other girls also did the same thing, but Candice is always held to that standard. Wendy is more scrutinized and analyzed, and if she gets upset or reacts, suddenly she's combative and aggressive. We've seen Giselle, Wendy, and Ashley do this throughout, but Ashley's not held to that. It's okay for Ashley to be messy. It's okay. It works for her. It fits her. She's playful. It's sassy. It makes her more cute. Here and there, likable. But if Candice does it, then it's a problem. Then she's dirty, then she's low down, dirty, filth, this, that, etc. There are different comparisons that's gone on for a very long time. Very long time. Giselle and Robin know what they're doing at many a times, and I do feel like a lot of people aren't speaking about it. I feel like the community for Potomac is also very toxic. If we want to keep real, the fandom for Potomac, hold on, somebody's at the door. Somebody's at the door. The fandom within itself is also very toxic as well. And I just feel like a lot of this needs to be, expressed, because I think it's very interesting. Candice and Wendy, recent additions to ROP, are the darkest complected main castmates. Though no one on ROP is completely blameless and every castmate becomes problematic in some way, Candice is regularly accused of being uniquely mean, rude, and shady, and Wendy is often barraged with colorist-coded insults by other castmates and fans of the show. There is a huge disparity on this, and I feel like people need to speak about it because it is a pretty big issue. And as an avid viewer of this show from season 1, I feel compelled to make this an issue, and I've also spoken about colorism in brown and black communities because it is rife everywhere, and I feel like it needs to be spoken up about. And I do find it annoying that people like Candice and Wendy are held to that higher standard. Monique was scrutinized by Giselle. The way Giselle was coming in with the security guard everywhere around her for her actions, but didn't care for the fact that Mia could have clocked Candice and be like, it is what it is. And suddenly now was, changing the whole narrative when it comes to Monique and Candice on this current season. The behavior she exemplifies around people like Mia as opposed to around people like Monique is very interesting because she sees people like Mia as on her level, superior, and this kind of nasty crap, whether it's subconscious or conscious. I feel like the reactions are very much different, and I feel like it's something that people need to speak up about because the colorism is rife on that show, guys, and I feel like it should be addressed more. I'm glad Wendy brought it up. The fact that she wants to change her body in any way doesn't mean that she was different from the year before. I don't think she has been. I think that she's just been triggered more. She came in last season in the midst of a huge fight between two castmates. As a newbie, nobody's going to be looking at you like that because you've come in when two castmates have had a huge fight. This season, we're probably seeing her more, and I think she's had a great season. I feel like everybody's speaking about it, so hopefully I'll be keen to read your comments. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button, daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.